Stack 16 and the final stack of that large boot box that I showed in my preview video. After this, I have a whole entire shoebox full of requests. I have no idea how many I've opened. I've been going all day. For you, this just continues right into the next part of the video. For me, it's been a long time. If you're still with me at this point, you either love TTM autographs, you are crazy, or I am just the most interesting person in the world and have so much to show you. I think it's probably one of the first two. Let's get going. After this, I'm personally going to take a break. It might be zero time for you because it might just skip into the next one, however long my videos are, whether it turns out. But for me, I got to take a break. I feel like I'm losing the desire to talk. I'm less interesting, but we'll see. But let's get these done. Hopefully there's some good ones in here. So next one is Brent Strom. So he's a pitching coach. I had trouble in the past getting him. I think I've had the 77 done before. The 75 is certainly a new one. I'm very glad to add that. I had sent at one point a 74 team card with a bunch of signatures on it, and it did not come back. So the general rule in TTM, remember, is don't send anything you can't afford to lose. I was super disappointed. Obviously not getting back, it's like, why did I risk it? But at the time, it was a pretty good idea. Here's a cool card, a 78 Topps card, rookie. I think that's Lance Parrish's actual rookie. It's not Dale Murphy's rookie. He had a 77. And then Ernie Witt signed it. He was a Red Sox for a little while, but nothing exists of him on the Red Sox. 84, a nice 83 Topps. If I remember correctly, he was a one-time All-Star, but I could be very wrong on that. And then two more. He was coming back RTS for a while. I think he moved. The 78's a little bit beat up. But overall, it's a kind of cool card. Love getting those rookie cards when you can. I sent to him in 2012 was the last time. Doug Sisk. So this is a guy out of my commons, an 89 upper deck, an 86 Mets, 87 and 84 for the collection. So he's a member of the 86 Mets World Series team. Another 87 and 84 Topps that I had never sent to before. I don't know if he might have taken a while back. I feel like he was part of that June new player each team kind of send. Next one up, Dick LeBeau. So he's been on my list to send to for a while. I sent to him once with just index cards. He signed one for me here. But at the Greater Boston Sports Card Collector Show, I found this for, I believe, 25 cents. So I jumped on it. It's a nice, I don't know what year, someone can fill me in or add a comment. But it was nice to get a Hall of Fame card signed, and he added another index card. So this goes into the NFL Hall of Fame collection. The dog is getting restless. Rigo will go in a little bit. Next one up, Eric Soderholm. So he appears in the Swell Great set of the late 80s. I don't know why. Here's a lot of estate sale cards for me. The 81, the 76 Topps, which is nice. The 75 Topps. For me, he looks like Funke from Arrested Development in this picture. Tobias Funke. And then a second 81, this one bubbled a little bit. If I ever had that Swell card, I'd certainly get it signed, but how he was included on an all-time greats set kind of blows my mind, because he was not an all-time great. He was good. He got hurt a lot. Another Andy Etchebarren, so I sent to him very early on in this and then had these from the estate sale. Thought I sent 3, but that's okay. 2 is awesome. Excuse me. You know what? The second one was a 72 Topps, which I already have, so that's even easier to lose. Nice 70 Topps card. And then a bubbled but nice 78 Topps. Glad to get those back. Losing a card sucks, but you know, I've already have it, so it's technically, even if you consider my whole TTM career, double dip. It's not so bad. Gary Thomason. So he was on, I think he was on the Yankees teams very briefly in the 70s. So we can turn the 81 Topps over. So he was on the 78 Yankees. And it looks like the 79 and 80 Dodgers, and probably the 81 Dodgers, who won the World Series. So I sent to him years ago for a 74. Got a bunch of these out of my estate sale, 275s. Thank you for signing both. I usually try to stick away from doubles, but it seems through these that I'm proving myself a liar because I'm finding a lot of doubles. So I don't know. I don't know what my mentality was. Maybe I'm just making up the fact that I don't like signing doubles. A single card is very nice. So he does, I consider a tough signer. It's a dark card, so it's hard to see. Fran Healy. So it's a nice 71. It's kind of cool that Thurman Munson's in the background. I think he ended up backing up Thurman Munson on the Yankees later in his career. Another 74. I wasn't sure if he was going to sign. He went through long spouts of not signing, of taking years to sign. I saw somebody posted a success with him on Guru Baseball Autographs, I think, recently, so got my hopes up, but also, what if I missed the window and then I have to resend? Next up, Ed Ott. He's got to have one of the shortest names in the history of baseball. I believe he's one that does not like sending doubles. So I sent any non-doubles that I had for my estate sale. And then his 76 rookie, Andy Merchant, does sign. I may send to him. I'm not sure. I might just keep it as is. I have this card signed by Andy Merchant already, so I might just keep them as two separate signed cards. Just because I like it. And I feel like Andy Merchant has taken a card in the past. So I don't know if I want to risk it. Lee Lacy signed 74. So he had been a $5 fee. You can see that he says $20 something, maybe the future. I can't say. He was $5 forever. Right around the time that I sent, people were getting back that he was upping his price. I did not send him $5 knowing that he charged more. It was honestly, I still thought, that's, you know what it says? It says $20 per signature. So if you're sending to Lee Lacy and you want to get that really nice autograph, it is a very nice autograph. It is $20 now. He changed that literally while my letter was in the mail. People started getting those back. Actually, I started seeing notices after I had sent to him. So I don't know when he changed that. Here's another 74 coming out. Bucky Bleepin' Dent. Since the Red Sox have won the World Series, I have much more open respect for those Yankees that used to kill them. I included $5 on this. It's a 74. It's his rookie card. Autograph per baseball card, I guess, is $10. I sent $5. So I guess in the future, try to send $10. If I send any more to him, I will send 10. That includes his 77 Topps White Sox card, and I think he has a 75 Gold Cup card. So if I need those, I will be sending the $10 in the future. Sorry, Riggs. Next up, Glenn Hubbard. I've sent to him in the past. I wonder if I sent his 84 Fleer Snake card. I'm not sure. I've heard varying things on whether he'd sign it. Nice. I got the 83 Topps. I chickened out on signing the 84 Fleer. That's okay. I'm not sure if he signs it. Has anyone sent that to him and got him to sign it? It's like an iconic 84 Fleer card. Very nice to get those back. He was on some of the, I think the 89 Ace that won the World Series. So this one came back open too. And I believe I peeked at the time because I was like, why is this open? So lucky to get this back because it's unsealed because it is a good one. It is a future NFL Hall of Famer, Patriot great Adam Vinatieri. Smudged a little bit. He will be in the NFL Hall of Fame when he retires. He's the greatest kicker ever. I was at the Raiders snow game when he kicked what I think is the greatest kick in the history of football, 45 yards through a essentially blinding snowstorm. I mean, it was pretty brutal. To tie the game, and then he hit the game winner, a 23-yard field goal in overtime. One of the greatest games in Patriots history, easily the greatest game that I've ever been to. You guys know it as the Tuck Rule game. I don't care what you say. The rule did suck. It should have been a fumble, but it was called correctly for it was. He was still within the grass. He was pulling the ball down, which is considered a tuck, which at the time was considered a fumble. I mean, was considered an incomplete pass. I sound like an idiot. So I don't think he got the benefit of anything other than a rule on the books called right. Next, I can tell this is Tal Hilgendorf. For better or for worse, I remember him best as I believe he got hit by a chair on 50 Cent Beer Night I think it was in Cleveland. It was a disastrous night trying to get people in the stands. And I believe there were some fights between players and fans. And I believe he got smacked in the head by a chair, WWE style. So he signed 2, both new to me. I think he has a 70 Topps card that I already have. I don't remember sending the 76, so I might have replaced it. I thought I had the earlier card. No worries. The 75 is really nice. 76 is nice too. All right, next up. All index cards. So this is Gordy Lund. So he is a former Seattle Pilot. I don't have any cards of him. I think he is in that Renato Glasso set. Renato Glasso. But after watching that documentary and rereading Ball 4, I realized I'm never going to have his autograph unless I send the index cards. He was in the documentary, so I sent them off really the day after I watched it. Glad to get those. Another Pilot. Next up, Don Robinson. So he was a decent pitcher in his career. He was on the 89 Giants that went to the World Series. This was all from my Commons. He's a Silver Slugger winner. I don't know how you can award a pitcher a Silver Slugger. And he had an 87 Topps. I don't know about his 84 Topps, whether he had one or not. Same thing with 83. Something I'll look into in a future mail. But 5 more cards out of my common box. Next up is Tom Brunansky, former Red Sox, former slugger for the Twins and the Cardinals. Did not sign his 72 Topps, his 82 Topps rookie. Not sure why. Not sure if I'll resend it. 85 Fleer, 90 Topps traded, and then the card that I most wanted was his Home Run Heroes Upper Deck card that came out super nice. Pictures him on the Red Sox, which to me is awesome. Would have been nice to get that 82 Topps rookie, but this is the card I wanted signed. It came back. Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Brunansky. He can take a while to get back to you. It came back in December. I think I sent it March of that year. Last one before I take a break. I don't know if this is the end of a video and then it'll start another one or if this will just be in the middle of one. I've been going for quite a while. I'm 2/3 of the way done. I'm excited to take a break. Rudy Mioli. So one time I mailed to him and it came back, Rudy is dead, which clearly wasn't true. So I resent it to a different address. Maybe there were 2 Rudy Miolis. 75, that's new to me. 74 is not, and the 76. So these 2 are new to my collection. 74 I had from the estate sale, so I stuck it in there. I thought this was always interesting. It's kind of a weird in-action picture. Clearly he hit just a blast straight up in the air. So that rounds out the boot box. In a bit, it'll be No Time to You. I will be back with the last huge chunk. I'm going to clean up a little bit. I'm going to take the dog. For me personally, I'm about to publish the first video, which is 900 stacks ago. If you're still with me and this is in the middle of a video, thank you for watching. I appreciate. Leave as many comments as you want. I'm trying to get back to all of them. Oh, this is a lot. All right. Before I go insane, I'll talk to you later. Here we go with stack 17 of the massive TTM blowout. Tom Paquette, former Red Sox, has a 77 Topps Gold Cup card. I sent to him a couple of years ago. So I sent him that nice 77 Gold Cup card. 81 Topps, an 82 Topps, and a nice 80 Topps Red Sox card. So I love the Red Sox card. Mostly the 77 is the draw. Last time I sent him, he signed in red Sharpie. So blue Sharpie is a nice change. Good addition to the 77 set. 1-5. Came back with Skip Jutsi. So I saw that he was signing a few. This I bought with the Vic Harris, which you saw in a previous stack. And sent it off to him. So another 74. I was actually kind of worried. I think of all the 74s that I sent, that was the only one that I hadn't gotten back. I'll, of course, go through, but I've been very successful so far on all my 74 cents. Now up is a longer thing to Allen, something or other, special, blah, blah, blah. Bob Gallagher, so he played briefly on the Red Sox. That came out of my estate sale. I already have it. The 75 was brand new, so that's nice to add to that. He also signed an index card and added a note. Oh, so he's actually a social studies teacher now, so I asked him about that. Good choice in professions. Special ed is a tough area. I don't know, tough read, tough road. God bless you, Bob Gallagher. So he's a social studies teacher, so I mentioned in my letter that I am also a teacher, that I enjoy writing to former athletes as a way to relax. That my profession is special ed. So I just try to connect to him on that level. He's a good signer, otherwise I wasn't trying to do that to butter him up. Just something. Don Kirkwood. So I think this is an old request that I had previously considered lost. So he signed my 77, but more importantly, I got this back. So this is a multi-sign, as you can see. 77 team card. And I think Don Kirkwood signed right there. Dave Chalk signed it. Norm Sherry, who's the manager. John Vanderhoven, or Van Hoven, I remember. And Bill Melton. So that I had considered lost. So I'll close this card out and put it as part of the set. And he also signed a couple index cards. This one has been out for long over a year by the time I got it back. I might have even sent this in 2016, maybe 17, but definitely a long return, something I considered lost. I'm not sure who this is. Grant Jackson. So the cards are all jumbled. Some are new, some are old. 69 Topps is new to me. 81, new to me. 76, another addition to the 70s collection. 74 Topps out of the estate sale. I have that already. And then another Pirates card. He was on the 79 Pirates. So it's nice to add him in his World Series, for his World Series team. The 69 Topps is also an excellent vintage edition. I think I have some more unsigned 69 Topps. I only sent one. Chris Davis. I'm glad to get this back. He was signing. Of course, Chris Davis, famous for his for a million or whatever it was. He since broke out of it. He broke out of it against the Red Sox, actually. So I sent 3 cards early January to get on that train. Because for me, I don't have a lot of cards of current players and even fewer than that sign. So he signed 3 cards for me. I sent 3. I had another 2 to go, but I didn't want to push it because I wanted to ensure that I got him versus kind of push the envelope after a whole bunch of people had signed. Next up is a single card. It is Paul Popovich, another 74. So this was $5 in the mail. It's already requires. It's another 74 Cubs card early in the set. New one for me, so add to that stack. It's got to be somewhere like 15 new 74s, which is awesome. Next one up is a Jim Holt. So I guess we're cis because he recently passed away within the last 2 months. I sent this back in early January or December. So we signed 2 cards that I didn't previously have, 76 and 75 Topps, and 2 index cards for me. So very nice of him. He was always a gracious signer, at least later in retirement. I think I've read that for a while he was tough, or people considered him tough. He was always gracious as long as I was in the hobby. Johnny Grubb. So I've sent him before. He's a former All-Star. Most of these cards should be new to me. So far, yes, 75 is new. This is the reason I sent it. This is from the estate sale. It's one of my favorite misprints. The 1974 Washington National League variations of the Padres. The Padres were expected to move, and it was basically set and done. And then at the last second, the deal fell through. They were going to be the Washington, I don't even remember what they're called. You can find pictures of the Washington jerseys and uniforms. A number of the 74 Padres cards were listed as Washington. That's how sure everybody was that the sale was going down. But then the McDonald's dude, Ray Kroc, stepped in, saved the Padres, kept them there. But some of the cards went to print as the National League Washington Club. Not all, and unfortunately, or fortunately for collectors, Dave Winfield's rookie was not one of those, so he only has San Diego versions. Next up comes to us from Romeo Crennel. How about that? Oh, this is fantastic. He didn't sign the index cards. He's been on my list for a long time. So I sent to him Romeo Crennel's business card. He was the defensive coordinator on the first 3 Patriots Super Bowl teams. He has been on my list for a long time to pick up. That's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. I'm glad to add that. That is a long shot return for me. Super surprising. And super glad to get that back. That's really cool. Personalized, and that actually kind of adds to it. Next up is Brooks Robinson, another Hall of Famer. I think he's since stopped signing because he got deluged. I added, I think, $10 per, if not 20. He signed 2 cards. It kind of beat up 73. And then this Upper Deck Hall of Fame, which came out really nice. Both are gorgeous signatures from one of the all-time greats. I'm glad to add these. Forgot that I sent them. Alan, it was bad, but not that bad. Keep your blame low. Keep your blame. So, when I was a kid, I read a story about how the ball yard that he grew up playing in was like very rocky and terrible, and that's where he learned to field so fluidly. And so I asked him about that. So was it really bad, as that story said? And he said it was bad, but not that bad, which is kind of interesting. It's really neat to get a note from a Hall of Famer, so that's really cool. I'll go back and make a cut out of that, maybe frame it, make a small frame with some of his signed cards. So I got something large in this. Unsigned index card, signed card of Willie Norwood. So this was out of my common box, ×2. That person with the motorcycle can go pound sand. Looks like he sent me an old Twins postcard. That's really cool. Doesn't have a date on 101. Oh, 78. That's really neat. A vintage Minnesota Twins postcard. That's really cool. Love editions like that. You never expect it. I didn't know that he added any in. Met Stadium located in Bloomington, so I must have asked where the stadium was. Or Twins games still outside, or the team moved to the Metrodome, so I was wondering if he played in the Metrodome. Again, it's the kind of thing I'd rather ask the players than look it up myself, because you get a cool note back. I'm very curious who your first career home run off of. Dennis Eckersley at the Met. And then your favorite ballpark, what it came in, it was in Minnesota. So that's pretty cool. His first home run in his career was off the Eck. So that's pretty cool. 279s. I thought I sent some other ones, some 80s, but you know what? I'll trade the 80 tops easily for that really neat postcard. Good success. So again, when you're mailing out, don't expect extras, but from time to time you will get them, and they're kind of cool. They come as unexpected. Next one, Royals, Jeremy Guthrie. So I think he's the pastor of a church or director of a church, so I sent this out. I have an Indians card, but I feel like I've read before that he will not sign them because he feels disrespected by the Indians. But that also could be the Orioles, I'm not sure. This is the first one I found, so I sent it off. It's a really nice signature. He inscribed it, World Series 2015. So it's nice to get like a current card back. Doesn't fit any collection. I guess it fits the World Series collection. Next one, Dennis Menke. So I had him, but I had a bunch of cards from the estate sale. Signed 2 index cards, 1 stained. A 74 tops, which I had, a 73 tops, which I had, and then a 71, which I did not have. So that's a really nice, it's a sharp card. I really like how the Astros uniform, it kind of pops on the card. Good placement of the autograph, so that's a very good success. Not new to the collection, but definitely a new signed card. 71. Don't know if he has a couple playoff cards from one of the years. I don't know if I included those. This one I had open on the side because I couldn't get it open the other way. Dave Edwards, so another common grab or maybe a state sale. Oh, so I guess I missed the Willie Norwood. These are the ones where I sent 2 80s and 2 81s. A teammate of his, Dave Edwards, so he's brand new to my collection. These are the only 4 cards I could find. Glad to add them. Vaughn Joshua. So for a while he was a tough get. It's a 73. I think it's the first 73. It's a high number in my collection. I also had the 75. And I found the 76 in the estate sale box. So nice to add him. Second time sending to him. I sent to him about a year ago. Or a year before this. For my 74 set. Chris Chambliss, I did not even know that I sent to him during this run, so that's kind of a surprise. 74 tops, which I believe is the second one. 73, believe is the second one. And then I added these two in, 82 and 81. I do not remember sending these at all. So I don't know if he was in that list. I've been thinking recently, I got a ton of cards. He takes a while, it can take up to a year to get back, so I should send them out. That might change my thoughts since I'm just getting these back now. I honestly thought that I didn't know that I sent to him. Next up, Gary Sutherland. I do remember sending this. So a couple 74 traded from the estate sale. And then I picked up the 75 at a show, and the 76 I think was from the estate, but I don't remember. So those two are brand new. I don't remember if I had the traded. I don't particularly collect them, but they're nice cards. So very nice, another 75 to add. I'll be very interested to see how many 75s I've gotten over this long haul, because it's been a bunch. Nick Swisher's dad, Steve Swisher. So I had a bunch of these from the estate sale, 78 and 82. I like his signature. 83 that doesn't come off because it's a dark card, and then the 81, which kind of comes off pretty nice. So I like his signature. It's pretty nice. Nice to get him in blue Sharpie. And these were all from an estate sale purchase. Again, pulling those out of those common boxes. The last one of this stack is Billy Sims. I believe he's a former Heisman, so I found all these in the estate sale. And when I realized that he signed, I sent them off. You can see he was in the Pro Bowl. 4 very nice signed cards go into my NFL collection. Nothing specific there, just their players that I'd rather sign than not. All right, there's another stack coming back in a bit. Stack 19. Let's keep it going. Getting sort of kind of close to the end. So here we have 2 index cards. Go Pats, Charlie Weiss. Ah, nice. So this is another long shot. I sent to him, I didn't have anything. I sent 2 index cards. Got Crennel in the previous stack, and now it's Charlie Weiss. Those are 2 awesome additions to the Patriots collection. Super Bowl collection. And it's definitely someone who I hadn't had before, so now I have the 2 coordinators plus Belichick. Ray Miller sent me a signed postcard. He was Orioles, I believe, pitching coach and maybe manager. And then I sent him the only cards I had, which were 386 tops. Signed those nicely, so he's new in my collection. I love the postcard. That'll go in the box that I have of photos that players send. One day I would like to mount them into a little scrapbook. Next up, I got a wrapped one. Nick Kelleher. Didn't do anything with my letter, so that'll go up there. He signed 1, 2 80 tops cards, a 77 tops card, that's for my set, and a 78 tops. For a while he was taking very, very long and wasn't consistent, so I hadn't sent to him, but I think he picked it up, and so I sent to him for the 77. Another Hall of Fame plaque. Who is it? Who are you? It is Whitey. You couldn't see, I'm sorry. Whitey Herzog. So he's $5 in the mail. I found this in some of the old plaques I had purchased, so I made sure to send it off. Nice to add him. I might already have him on a plaque that I had sent years ago. But another nice Hall of Fame plaque. Worth the $5 in my opinion. Next up, Louis Pujols. So he has been an inconsistent signer in his history, but it's been signing recently, so I pulled all of these out of the estate sale boxes. And he signed 1, 2, 3, and 4. At one point, he was almost traded to the Red Sox. I don't remember for who. that fell through, so he stayed with the Astros. Had a couple big hits for them in the playoffs, I think in 81. Next up, Frank Lindsay. So I got him back very early in this. A year later, I sent back with an uncreased, I guess, 66 tops. 71 came from a fire sale. 78 came from a fire sale. And then I had an extra 66. So one of these came from the estate sale, and the other I picked up in the fire sale, all for a quarter. Figured it had been a while. And he also, I mean, I only had 2 pitches, a sinker and a slider, so I had to make a living. Not sure what I asked him. Maybe what he threw. I think he wrote a note back on my last one from 2018. One card back is Dana Kicker. So he's $1 donation. I couldn't find the other kicker cards I had. I wanted to include more. Nice addition. I only had 1 in my Red Sox collection. I found them all later, so I might send more. $1's pretty cheap. I like the 91 tops. The look of his card, not necessarily all the cards. Good addition to the Red Sox collection. It's only the second that I have. So anytime I can add more, it's always good. Mike Morgan has been a recent signer, so I pulled these out, seeing that he was signing. Signed an 83 Donruss on 83 Topps Yankees, very nice. His 84 Topps, and his 87 Topps. So these were all in different common boxes. I saw that his requests were coming back, so I pulled them together and sent them out. Nice to get that back. So these are all more recent, so I remember pretty well sending most of these. Pete Redfern. So you notice his autograph is kind of a mess, but he is a paraplegic. So the fact that he can sign it all, he has some use of his hands, is pretty amazing. I'm very grateful for him signing the cards. This all came from the estate sale. I probably won't bother him anytime soon. He readily signs. He signs 90% success rate or better. That's very cool. Next up, Tom Mack. He's an NFL Hall of Famer, so I found these 2 cards in the estate sale. It's a very nice Topps card, and then a really beat up, is it a Wonder Bread card? Yeah, a Wonder Bread series card. But I figured, card of a Hall of Famer, can't go wrong through the mail for free. So that's 2 cards from another Hall of Famer. Very, very nice. This one seems kind of thick. Don Money. So he can take a while to get back. So I'm glad that it came back. Were you ever able to collect a hit in the All-Star game? And he said no hits. He was 0 for 4. That's too bad, Mr. Money. Let's see what you got for me. So 74. This is a double for me. I added that in because I wanted the 84, the 83. Mostly I sent for the 75. Also I had the 83. So he usually signs in pen. It can take a while. I'm kind of surprised that these came back already. Very nice to add a former All-Star, I believe Gold Glove winner, but I'm not 100% sure. Funny, when I do all the research for these players, I know all about them, but it's been so many players and so many that I've opened that I literally can't remember. Mike Cubbage, so I've sent to him in the past, but I had a bunch of cards to send. So we signed his 81. I sent the 78, that's new to me. The 75 rookie, though now that I see Manny Tria, it's kind of poor timing that I just sent to him. It's 81 Fleer, it's 81 Donruss, and his 82 Mets. Very poor picture, but a lot of these were really poor pictures, out of focus, but nice to get them on a Mets jersey. 75 card I have already signed by DeSenses, and I think maybe signed by him too. But I had that in there and wanted to send. Leon Roberts is another estate sale send. I've gotten him in years past. For me, he signed an 81. The 79 Topps, that's new. The 83 Topps. And then I think this is a 76 traded card. Yep. So these came out of the estate sale. I really like the look of that card. I thought it was neat. The early Mariners cards are kind of neat. And the 83 Topps, of course, is that set that is growing on me. I think most of the 83s that I see are in-action shots, which I can appreciate. Like the in-action versus the post shots. It's something that is kind of growing on me, is really paying attention to the picture. So Lynn Dickey, as you can see on the back, former quarterback of the Packers. Found these in the estate sale. 1, 2, and 3. I actually, the other day, just found another card that I should have sent, but I didn't. I don't know that I'll send it again, so I think in the future what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell some just unsigned TTM lots of players who regularly signs. Like he would be part of that if I made a football group. Former Red Sox Mike Garman didn't send the NS cards. He's kind of notorious for if you send, he's on the 72 Topps Fisk card, and he's been known to keep that card. I sent 278 Topps. I sent some other cards too, but he kept those, so maybe he's 2 per, I'm not sure. Very nice. I'm glad to add that to the collection. Those came out of the estate sale box. Got a good nice little stack of 78s going too. I'll have to see how many of those I pull down. That was one I considered maybe one day building just because there's a couple good rookies in it. Next is Jim Beattie, former pitcher, former general manager. Can take a sip, hold on. It's like 9 hours later, I'm still working on my morning coffee. I met him at one of the New Hampshire Fisher Cats dinners, but I have a bunch left over in my commons, so an 81 and 83, a 79, which I really like the picture of. He did not sign the 82, and he did not sign the 81, so it looks like he is a 3 per. So for anyone looking to send, looks like he wants to just sign 3, which is totally okay. All right, another one I ripped up at the top is an index card of Bobby Shantz, who's probably the greatest living signer out there. I thought I'd sent cards, but maybe not. Maybe it'd been, I think, 5 years since I sent to him. So I thought, you know what? I want to send a couple more. Again, these just kind of go into my collection. Not trying to sell them. But he won't be signing forever. So get him while you can. Send him a nice letter. I actually, and hopefully I'll have it, I sent to him again like 2 months later because I picked up a card I really want signed, and I explained in my letter that it was a double dip. Okay, this says a top certified autograph issue, which means that it is not one of mine. Bill Edgerton, who's a pilot, and look at that. So this is a Topps Heritage autograph card. This is a certified one you pick up in packs. He must have gotten extra one. That's awesome. That is awesome. That might be the best return I've gotten so far, just because it's so cool. So it's a 69 Topps. That's really cool, that logo. That I wasn't expecting. I sent him the index card after watching that that documentary, and instead he sends me a Topps certified issued Heritage. That is stinking fantastic. Can't dwell on it too long because I got so much to do. Don Schwal, he pitched 3 innings in the 1961 All-Star game, and then he signed my 1961 All-Star game, and signed my 1963 Topps that I picked up at the Greater Boston Sports Card Convention for probably 10 or 20 cents. When I go to those shows, I usually focus on commons in the 10 to 25 cent range, depending on year. Going to a show tomorrow, it's smaller. Usually I focus on TTM, but I'm blowing myself up so much, I'm not sure if I will. Billy Joe Robidoux, former Red Sox. This is from the estate sale, and I found this in my comments. So 2 nice additions to the Red Sox set. Nice little rookie card there. Again, one of those cases where it's a Red Sox card, former Red Sox. I'd rather have those cards signed and take it out of the common box. So that's it for the last stack. We're going on stack 20 in a minute. See you then.